This section of the show is called Ask Family Practice. You can send your questions to tv@fpalex.com and include your name if you would like for us to use it in the air. Tonight's question is, will FPA participate in insurance from the exchange for 2019? Asked by William Smith of Nicholasville, Kentucky. And here to help me answer that question is our CEO at Family Practice Associates, Mr. Craig Gillispie. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's start out by explaining maybe what is the exchange to start with.
Yeah, so the exchange in Kentucky is the Affordable Care Act exchange, which is people call Obamacare, where people can purchase insurance directly from the exchange instead of through an employer. And some of the big changes, for 2019. In Kentucky, a lot of the plans that participate in the exchange have kind of diminished and gone away. So there's very few plans right now that are in the Kentucky exchange. The main one for us, for Family Practice Associates, is CareSource. So if someone wants to purchase insurance through the exchange for 2019 and they want FPA to be a participating provider, it would be CareSource, would be the insurance plan.
Okay, now there's apparently a recent ruling by one of the courts here that they're going to that may have an effect on that law. Does that have anything to do with current signing up? And
well, from everything that I've read with the ruling that just happened with the judge in Texas, I believe, nothing will be effective for 2019. So if people have purchased their insurance through the exchange for 2019, then there shouldn't be anything that changes for them. My guess is that there'll be changes coming after court challenges in 2020 or later on.
Okay, you talk about choosing, and you choose a plan, and two of the big differences that you have to make a decision about is between HMO and PPO. What do those initials stand for, and what's the difference between them?
So HMO is Health Maintenance Organization, and PPO is Preferred Provider Organization, and they're very similar. Years ago, there were a lot more stark differences, but nowadays they're pretty similar. HMO is going to have a few more rules, related to gatekeepers as far as picking a primary care provider at times. Maybe a few more rules with referrals and pre-authorizations. A PPO is going to have a little less rules with those, but ultimately from the commercial side with commercial insurances, the networks are pretty much going to be the same if you choose an insurance plan, HMO versus PPO.
Now, a lot of them have deductibles, and some of them have what we call high deductibles. Mm-hmm. Explain what a deductible is and what that means to the patient.
So a deductible is going to be the amount that you as the patient have to pay first before the insurance will pay anything. So, and deductibles in a high deductible plan is going to be a large amount. Those could be $5,000, $10,000. And if you purchase a high deductible plan, then you have to pay that entire first cost amount before the insurance will start paying anything. With deductibles in an HMO or PPO, those tend to be a little lower, but sometimes they're in that same range. But there may be deductibles related to certain services. So you may have an overall deductible of $2,500, but for imaging or diagnostic, you might have another deductible you have to meet. So a lot of people don't really understand that, and it's something you really kind of have to look at closely when you're picking a plan and making sure that your out-of-pocket costs are going to be something that you can afford.
Okay, real quickly, we've got HMO, PPO. We also have ACO. What's that mean?
Yeah, so ACO is an accountable care organization, so that is a relatively new thing in Central Kentucky. It's been around for a while. It's really kind of Medicare's new plan and their methodology to try to save money in the Medicare plan, because everybody knows that Medicare doesn't have a whole lot of money and bleeds a lot of money. So in an attempt to save costs, they've developed an ACO model that really kind of focuses on quality and on costs. So for anyone that's in the ACO, it's for people who have traditional Medicare. If you have Medicare Advantage, you won't be in an ACO, you'll be in something else. But for someone who has traditional Medicare in there with family practice, for example, they may be in our ACO. And that means that it probably doesn't mean a whole lot for the patient. They won't see a whole lot of difference, but for us as providers, it means that we're responsible for the overall cost and overall quality of that patient. So that means that we'll have to be responsible for their entire cost of care.
That's great information, and you should know your insurance, so read the policy. We'll be right back.